Hey, how's it going? So I just started reading Wheel of Life by Anita Judith, and I'm obsessed. I've looked through this book a bunch, but I never actually sat down and read it, so I'm starting that as I finish my 200-hour yoga teacher training. And so I wanted to read to you about the Muladhara root chakra today. So that's what we are going to be doing. I'll share pictures to the best of my ability as we go through. Love you so much. Thanks for being here. So Muladhara, the root chakra. By energism of consciousness, Brahman is mass. From that matter is born, and from matter life and mind and the worlds. Mundaka Upanishad 118. Our journey up the spinal column begins at the base of the spine, home of the first chakra. This is the foundation of our entire system, the building block on which all other chakras must rest. So this chakra is of crucial importance. It relates to the element of earth and all solid earthly things, such as our bodies, our health, our survival, our material and monetary existence, and our ability to focus and manifest our needs. It is the manifestation of consciousness in its final form, solid and tangible. It is our need to stay alive and be healthy, and the acceptance of limitation and discipline so crucial to manifestation. In this system, Earth represents form and solidity, our most condensed state of matter and the lowest end of our chakra spectrum. It is visualized as a deep, vibrant red, the color of beginning and the color with the longest wavelength and slowest vibration in the visible spectrum. The Sanskrit name for this chakra is Muladhara, which means root support. The sciatic nerve traveling from the sacral plexus down through the legs is the largest peripheral nerve in the body. It's about as thick as your thumb and functions much like a root for the nervous system, as you can see in this photo. Beautiful. That's your sciatica nerve. The feet and legs, which provide locomotion, enable us to perform tasks necessary to obtain life sustenance from the earth and its environment. Our legs touch the ground below us and connect our nervous system with the earth, our first chakra element. We respond then, kinesthetically, to gravity, the basic underlying force of the earth, constantly pulling us downward. This force keeps us connected to our planet, rooted in material existence. This center is depicted as a lotus of 4 petals, within which is a square. This can be seen as representing the 4 directions and the firm foundation of the material world, which in many systems has come to be symbolized by a square. As the first chakra relates to Malkuth, the base sphere in the Kabbalistic tree of life, these 4 petals also reflect the 4 elements of the material kingdom. Within this square is a small triangle pointing downward from a column of energy representing the Sushumna. This represents the earth-oriented downward force of the chakra. Within the triangle is the Kundalini serpent wrapped around the Shiva Lingam, which points upward. This chakra is the home and resting place of Kundalini. Below the triangle is a 7-trunked elephant named Arivata, representing the heavy, matter-like quality of this chakra and the 7 pathways out of it, which correspond to the 7 chakras. We may also associate the elephant-headed god Ganesha, Lord of Obstacles, with this center, as he is grounded, full-bellied, and happy with his physicality. Other deities depicted in the square are the 5-faced child Brahma, dispelling fears, and the female Dakini, the manifestation of Shakti at this level, with spear, sword, cup, and skull. In the center of the square is the symbol for the seed sound, believed to contain the essence of the chakra, which is Lam. These images and sounds are all symbols that can be used in meditation on this chakra, as you can see here. We're going to skip forward a little bit. In this book, she talks about the manifesting current and the liberating current. So the manifesting current is going to be the one that brings things down, as you can see here, and then the liberating current is what brings things up. So a lot of spirituality will actually teach you to ascend, go up, and to move energy upwards, but there's a really powerful practice in actually grounding and bringing energy downwards. And that's what we're going to read about today. The liberating current, ever moving toward higher consciousness, is the pathway most commonly associated with the chakra system. Until recently, there has been less said about sending our energy downward into the earth along the current of manifestation. This is often seen as less spiritual and therefore less worthy of our time and attention. Too many spiritual paths ignore the importance of grounding. Grounding is a process of dynamic contact with the earth, with its edges, its boundaries, and limitations. It allows us to become solidly real, present in the here and now, and dynamically alive with the vitality that comes from the earth. While mechanically our feet may touch the ground with every step, this contact is empty if we are cut off from the feelings in our legs and feet. Grounding involves opening the lower chakras, merging with gravity, and descending deeply into the vehicle of the body. Without grounding, we are unstable. We lose our center, fly off the handle, get swept off our feet, or daydream in a fantasy world. We lose our ability to contain, to have, or to hold. You having money issues? Grounding. Natural excitement or charge becomes dissipated, diluted, and ineffectual. When we lose our ground, our attention wanders from the present moment and we appear to be not all here. In this state, we feel powerless and, like a vicious circle, may no longer want to be here. Our ground anchors the very roots for which this chakra is named. Through our roots, we gain nourishment, power, stability, and growth. Without this connection, we are separated from nature, separated from our biological source. Cut off from our source, we lose our path. Many people who cannot find their true path in life have simply not yet found their ground. Sometimes they are busy looking up instead of down, where the feet must meet the path. Our roots are made from our guts, the instinctual feelings that get programmed from the memories of our past, our racial and cultural heritage, and the indestructible fabric of our being. C.J. Jung describes this instinctual base as the realm of the collective unconscious, a vast and powerful realm of inherited instincts and evolutionary trends. When we reclaim these roots, we strengthen who we are and draw on the vast wisdom of this instinctual realm. When we are grounded, we are humble and close to the earth. We live simply in a state of grace. We can embrace stillness, solidity, and clarity, grounding out the stresses of everyday life and increasing the vitality of our basic life force. Resting on the ground, we cannot fall, which provides a sense of inner security. It is through grounding that our consciousness completes the manifesting current. It is at the first chakra plane that ideas become reality. From the great diversity of imagination to the intricate requirements of the physical world, the earth plane is the testing ground of our beliefs. That which has ground, substance, and validity will find its way to manifestation. That which has roots will endure. In today's urban world, there are few people who are naturally grounded. Our language and cultural values reflect the superiority of the high at the expense of the low, i.e., to be highly regarded, to hold one thing above another, to get high, to have things look up. Socially and economically, intellectual work is better rewarded than physical labor. Our natural bodily processes such as waste elimination, sexuality, birth, breastfeeding, or nudity are considered dirty, to be done only in private and often with much guilt. Control of our health is put in the hands of an elite class, denying us the sense of our own innate healing potential. Our power structures in business, government, and organized religion flow hierarchically from the top down, controlling and often trampling that which is below in order to serve the higher cause of that which is above. By losing touch with our ground, we have lost the sense of intricate connection with all life. We become ruled by a part instead of the whole, and furthermore, a part that is isolated, fragmented, and out of touch. Hello, it cameth wounding. Ignoring our ground, it is no wonder that we face a healthcare crisis and ecological destruction. In an alienated and ungrounded culture where most values do not favor the body or its pleasures, we develop pain. Our bodies hurt after a day at the computer or a day of driving. The stress of completion and fast living do not give us a chance to rest and renew or to process that hurt, to release it. As we develop pain, we become, ironically, more resistant to grounding. For to ground is to be in touch. Getting in touch means feeling that pain. Yet this is the first step in making ourselves whole so that we begin to heal. As we become more mechanized and urbanized, our contact with the earth and nature becomes more tenuous, and with it our health and self-worth. Our power is transferred to the upper body where it too is tenuous and must be constantly guarded. Because we see ourselves as separate, power becomes an act of manipulation rather than connection. We lose touch with our animal nature, and with it our sense of instinctual power, grace, and peace. When we have a sense of self that comes from the body, we have less need to affirm ourselves through ego inflation. Ground is home. It's familiar, safe, and secure. It has a power of its own. Grounding implies limitation. While the mental energy of the upper chakras is boundless, the lower chakras are far narrower in their scope. Language limits and therefore specifies our thoughts. Yet I could name 1,000 things I could not fit in a large house, for the physical world has even more limitation. Each step down through the chakras becomes simpler, more definitive, and more constricted. While frightening to some people, this limitation is an essential creative principle. If we didn't limit our activities, we would accomplish nothing. If I didn't limit my thoughts as I typed this manuscript, I couldn't write. Far from being a negative, limitation creates a container that allows energy to build and gel into substance. To manifest, we must be willing to accept limitation. It is just as crucial to the development of consciousness as any meditation or raising of energy. In the words of the immortal I Ching, limitation has success. Unlimited possibilities are not suited to man. If they existed, his life would only dissolve in the boundless. To become strong, a man's life needs the limitation ordained by duty and voluntarily accepted. Hexagram 60. Grounding is a simplifying force. We are bringing our consciousness into the body, which, for all practical purposes, exists in one space and time only, the here and now. Our thoughts, by contrast, are much more versatile, extending outside of space and time. We can fantasize about being in the mountains for our next summer vacation, and perhaps even see and feel the warmth of the sunshine, but our body remains where we are, at our desk with snow outside the window and bills piled in front of us. If we spend too much time fantasizing, we may never get enough work done to even take the vacation. Then it is time to get back to the earth plane, do some grounding, and take care of survival needs. The human organism is a finely tuned instrument capable of receiving and transmitting an enormous variety of energies. Like a stereo receiver, we need to plug it in before we can receive the various frequencies. Grounding is the process of plugging ourselves into the earth and the world around us, completing the circuit that makes us a channel for the great diversity of life energies around us. Just as a lightning rod protects a building by sending excess voltage into the ground, so too our grounding protects the body from becoming overloaded by tensions of everyday life. Through grounding, we send the impact of stressful vibrations into a larger body that can handle them. A small child, for example, buries his head in his mother's shoulders on hearing a loud noise. He is, in a sense, grounding that vibration in her body. Measurements have shown that when the human body is standing on the ground, it is electrically grounded as well. There is an electrostatic field surrounding the earth with a resonant frequency of about 7.5 cycles per sound. The late Itzhak Bentov discussed a micro-motion of the body that consists of the constant vibration of the heart, cells, and bodily fluids. He determined that this micro-motion vibrates at a frequency of 6.8 to 7.5 cycles per second. Therefore, the body's natural frequency resonates with the Earth's ionosphere. Connecting physically to this great body, as in walking or lying on the earth, our own bodies enter into this resonance more deeply. Grounding is a way of coping with stress. The downward channel gives us an outgoing circuit and protects us from psychic overload. The physical world is safe and stable. We can always return to our favorite chair, a good meal, and familiar surroundings when we need to feel calm and secure. This stability makes it easier to work on higher planes. When the body feels secure, well-fed, and healthy, our consciousness can flow to other levels. Chakras filter energy from the environment. Their spinning pattern vibrates at a certain rate, allowing only matching vibrations to enter into the internal core of consciousness. The rest recedes into the background, soon to be completely forgotten by the conscious mind, although the subconscious mind may often remember quite well. When too much abrasive energy is found in our surroundings, the chakras will close down to protect the subtle body from this caustic invasion. Overloaded chakras are difficult to open. Grounding is a way to discharge this excess tension. Grounding brings clarity through stillness. Every action causes a reaction. If we can still our reactions to some aspect of a vicious cycle, we are stepping out of the world of karma. We are then able to stop the cycle. This is analogous to letting dirty water sit in a glass long enough for the mud to settle to the bottom, clearing the water. Many people experience difficulty because their upper chakras are too open, while their lower chakras are not stable enough to support the barrage of psychic energy they pick up around them. At its extreme, this creates serious mental disorders such as psychosis. A psychotic individual has lost touch with his ground and with consensus reality. Through techniques of grounding, psychic overload can be discharged, giving patients stability to match their sensitivity. Even simple physical touch can help to ground someone in intense pain. Physical exercises or making something with one's hands is also useful, as well as any of the grounding exercises described in this chapter. Grounding is like focusing a camera lens, where the object is to get two images to merge into one. As our astral body becomes firmly connected with our physical body, our senses of the physical world around us become sharp and clear. If another person were to look at us when we were particularly grounded, they would also experience a dynamic clarity about us, a presence in the eyes and body, whether or not that person had ever seen an aura. In this state of groundedness, decisions are more easily made, worries about the future are more easily assailed, and enjoyment of the present moment takes on a new luster and challenge. This is not a state that is detrimental to expanded consciousness, but one that actually enhances it. Grounding forms a foundation. A person desiring to study medicine grounds themselves into the physical sciences as an undergraduate. Opening a new business, one first gets grounding from someone more experienced in the field and finds financial support. Our first chakras are the foundations on which everything we do rests. Our bodies are a microcosm of the world we create around us. The work we do and the foundations we build are of utmost importance to the success of whatever follows. For many people, work itself is a grounding activity. Aside from providing our basic tool of survival, money, the routine of working a job according to a regular schedule can provide a basic structure that supports the life around it. This routine, while it may be drudgery at times, can actually be beneficial in its limitations. It builds a foundation. Through focus and repetition, energies become dense enough to manifest. If we are involved with constant change, we are like a rolling stone that gathers no moss. We're kept at a survival level because we are constantly building new foundations. Only through focus and repetition can we achieve expertise in an area leading to larger manifestations of goals, be they physical or ideological. Chakras, however, must be balanced. While the stability of grounding is a necessary state to achieve, undue attachment to this security can be detrimental. The physical world is not the goal, but only a tool. It is possible to dominate our consciousness with addictions to material comforts, and the acquisition of more and more of them becomes the basis of many people's lives. It is this that is seen as a detriment to the growth of consciousness, and one that makes material existence a trap. Once again, it is only undue attachment to this security that becomes a trap, not the basic satisfaction of this need. Grounding is not dull and lifeless, but dynamic and vibrant. Generally, it is our tension that makes us lethargic, and tension results from alienation between various parts of ourselves. As these parts are simplified and integrated, we experience increased vitality. Intellectually, it is easy for people to understand the need for grounding, but the experience cannot really be explained in words. It is a cumulative skill. One session of grounding meditations may produce some effect, but it is only over time that the real benefits may be achieved. As grounding is the foundation for all else we may do, it is well worth it to take the time. I'm obsessed with this book, literally. I read that last night and I was like, oh my gosh, grounding is the missing piece for everyone and everything. And if more spiritual people were actually taking the time to ground, I think the world would be in a different place and we would all be getting more of what we want. I'm thinking maybe we make this like a series. The next little section is on survival, which I think could be fun to read too. So maybe I'll do that soon. Be sure to turn on notifications.